give up without regards to myself for the benefit of all beings. Ettavatacha amhehi sangbhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodamto sabba sangpati. Ettavatacha amhehi sangbhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sangpati siddhya. Dhamme ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu. Idang me ñātinang hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo. Rectification of faults. The evil which I have heaped up through my ignorance and foolishness, evil in the world of everyday experience, as well as evil in understanding and intelligence, all that I acknowledge through the Buddha. May the Lord receive this kindly, just as it is with its many faults. What is not good, O Blessed One, I shall not do again. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang Achayang kamame bhamte buripanya tathagata. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya kata. Achayang kamame bhamte buripanya tathagata. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya kata. Achayang kamame buripanya tathagata. Dedication. We dedicate this place to the three jewels, to the Buddha, the ideal of enlightenment to which we aspire, to the Dhamma, the path of the teaching which we follow, to the Sangha, the spiritual fellowship with one another which we enjoy. Here may no idle words be spoken. Here may no unquiet thought disturb our minds. To the observance of the 5 precepts we dedicate this place. To the practice of meditation we dedicate this place. To the attainment of enlightenment we dedicate this place. Advice of all the Buddhas. Sabba papasa akaranang kusalasa upasampada sachitta pariyodapanang etang buddhana sasanang. Sadhu.
Too loud. Too loud. Okay, yeah. So, good morning, brothers and sisters. Today, we are doing a special puja in memory of the late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. If Bante is around, Bante is a very big fan of his, and he would have done the speech. But Bante, unfortunately, is in Sri Lanka right now, and he sends his apologies and thank everyone for attending today's puja. So as the Venerable has only been here for a short while, I have no choice but to take over and say a few words, being the Singaporean as well. So one of the parts of the chanting, which is not part of our chanting, but is part of the traditional Theravadan chanting, is blessings. And in that blessing, one of the verse says, Venerable can correct me if I'm wrong, may you live in a place where there is a righteous leader. Okay, so this is considered a very high blessing, long life and so on, but one of the other blessing is may you live in a place where there is a righteous leader. I think we are very blessed. We have been living in a place where there is a righteous or was a righteous leader. I think like many of you, myself, have not been, I don't know Mr. Lee in person. So what I do know is his public persona and whatever the information that is getting out during this period of mourning. So we can see that he is indeed a righteous leader, a hardworking and a righteous leader. And this righteousness is very important because it established this place as what it is. He uprooted a lot of bad things, right? Corruption was one of the main things that he went against. And I think part of this mark of righteousness is indeed to combat corruption. But you cannot fight corruption if you yourself are corrupted. So you have to set that example, and I think he held a very high example. I don't know him personally, but I know people who work fairly close to him. And everyone speaks very highly of his character. And this is a reflection of the kind of leader that he is. And you can see that, you can say all you want, but if you are not of that caliber and character, you will not be able to establish a system that runs well. So this is a very important mark that he has left. I think also, if we reflect on Bodhisattva vows, Mahayanist Bodhisattva vows, we see that one of the Bodhisattva vows is the gift or the dana of fearlessness. And I think he inspired that kind of confidence in people. I mean, now we get the information, we know that during the period of separation with Malaya and all that, there was great uncertainty. Then the British forces threatened to pull out, and the British forces accounted for 20% of employment in Singapore. You have someone pull out and say 20% of you out of job. This is very serious. So, I mean, I was only 1 year old or a few years old at that time, so I wouldn't know. But you can imagine project the kind of desperation that the country must be going under. And just on TV, I was watching a speech of his. He basically said, "Have no fear." Right? Have no fear. We will do it. So he inspired in people the confidence, and he gave that fearlessness. So this is a mark of a bodhisattva. And he also established the system which we are so comfortably working today. One of the things that he held very dear was multiracialism, multiculturalism, multi-religion. It's written into our pledge. Okay, is in the principle of founding of this country. And this morning, just before coming here, I saw an interview with Tony Blair, and Tony Blair was saying that few people appreciate this. He was for this idea of multiculturalism before it was even popular, fashionable. This was the 50s and the 60s. And basically, a lot of people say that there was a fight between English educated versus Chinese educated and so on, but not really. The fight, in my opinion, was really against multiculturalism versus, say, the supremacy of one particular group of people. So this establishes the founding principle of Singapore. And with this, he was able to build the system. You see, alone, he also cannot build a system. He needs to attract the right caliber of people. And in order to be able to attract the right caliber of people, you yourself must be that exemplary person that these people are willing to work hard and even die for you, right? So this is something that we are very blessed in having. So this multiculturalism has led to the ability for us to practice our religion freely. Without that, library would not be around. If that freedom was not around, library would not be around, within certain bounds. Okay, so this is the idea I like. You set the rules. You say you cannot cross these boundaries. Okay, other than that, you are free to do what you see fit inside this space. And this is what we need, right? You set the boundaries, your organization must be accountable to the public, must not infringe on the rights of other religion, and so on. You set these boundaries, and then we operate as we see fit. And this is what is freedom is about, the freedom to practice our religion. And for this, I think as Buddhists, we should thank Mr. Lee. I think Mr. Lee, we don't know whether, he says he's a nominal Buddhist, but I think he's more of a free thinker than a Buddhist. But I think because of that open-mindedness, he has allowed all religion to flourish in Singapore. Okay? Even Falun Gong can operate here, right? So, and some, we consider cult also, they operate in Singapore freely. But we set bounds for them, okay? So these are the effort that the system that he has made that has allowed us to continue to work and prosper. And, you know, most of us, including myself, we were born very poor. My family was making ends meet kind of thing, right? My mother had to pawn things to keep the household going. To buy rice, she has to pawn her marriage jewelries and that sort of things. So those were the days. But now we're all very comfortable, okay? I can't say that I'm very rich, right? But we are, at least we don't have to pawn our jewelry to buy the next barrel of rice kind of thing. So we're still not there yet, but certainly he has brought us to a very high level. And as for the establishment of righteousness, I keep emphasizing this because the other thing that came out in the TV news, sorry, my thought is just wandering around because I did not prepare a speech. So in the TV news, you see that he has changed people's mindset. In one of the interviews, he actually said, all these systems that are built is useless if the people's mindset do not change. If the mindset is still not first world, your mindset is still third world, open window, throw rubbish, pee on the anytime you want, and so on. Things, nothing. You know, the things that we have will not last a few years. So this changing of the mindset is in fact what the Dharma is trying to do, cultivation. So he has sort of brought about cultivation of the public, right, in general, to a certain level. So this is a tremendous achievement. Other than the material flashy buildings, all this flashy building, you pay for it, you can get it. But to change people's mindset and habit, that is very, very difficult. Anyone who have raised a kid knows. That is very, very tough. You can provide a kid with all the comfort things in life. To change his attitude and behavior, that is what is tough, than to raise the kid up. So I think for all this and reason, we are very thankful to Mr. Lee. And towards the end of his life, he has also graciously stepped aside. He has arranged for his own departure from the scene. This is the mark of a great man, right? A lot of people manage to hold power and then they hold on to it until they die, until the very day they die. Very close to them until they die. So we see that he has been able to step aside such that, so much so, that on Taiwanese, one of the Taiwanese news, they were asking the person in the studio was asking the reporter who was in Singapore, do you sense that there is fear, uncertainty in the ground? And the reporter says that no, there's no sense of fear or uncertainty after Mr. Lee has gone, but rather genuine sadness. Yesterday, I went to queue 3.5 hours in the Parliament House. I was lucky. Keep reading the news, 8 hours, 10 hours. Then on the way, we were giving up. So on the way to Tanjong Pagar CC, my wife was checking the news in the car. I said, hey, now 6 hours.